Hello, everybody. This is going to be an unlisted little live stream, not even a live stream, actually. I'm just going to real quick say, say out loud my OC's backstory, because I know at least 10 of you know it, but a lot of you don't. So I'm going to say it. You can look at my OC. I'm not really going to show you what the writing, because it's a page and a half long or so. So just sit down and enjoy, and sorry for any background noise. My dad is currently doing the dishes. Alright, 3, 2, 1. My whole life, I have been estranged to everyone else, but so Roof, and for my whole life I have been discriminated by other ponies. Even as a fool, others hate me for some reason. The main torture began with a fire, and me losing a leg. At the time, I had been about 7, a time of sadness for my family. They had divorced 3 days earlier, but still hadn't moved out of the house. Well, later that day, my mom had left the stove on. My homework had just happened to be right next to it, catching fire, and soon the whole house caught with it. My dad tried to rush me out, but my top right hoof got stung under some burning debris. It was too heavy for the two of us to lift, and the smoke was horrible. It blackened everything. The air was barely breathable. So to get out of there, my dad had the not so brilliant idea to cut it off. Before I even cut, before that, my right eye had been hit by some debris as well, blinding it. My dad and my dad got an axe from the attic. He quit He barely escaped the fire then, and he quickly came back down and cut off my leg. He rushed me outside, and I did the best work he could in bandaging it, but even so, the bandage got soaked quickly. Then, after that, he realized that my mother was still in there. Even though they were divorced, he still loved her, more or less. So he went back in, trying to find her. But just around then, the flames just reached the energy box, and the whole house exploded, which of course all made them dead. And from then, I had passed out from blood loss. Next time I woke up, I found myself in the hospital, hooked up to a UV bag and blood bag. Of course, my top right hoof was cut off, and it seemed to be slowly turning into a stump. I thought it was probably a healing spell to speed up the healing process. My right eye was also blind, and I could feel an eye patch had been placed over it. I couldn't feel the eye, and I shivered as they took it out to keep from any more injury. So they completely took out the eye, if you guys don't realize what that means. I stayed in the hospital for another 2 weeks, sipping water and watching TV. It was quite boring, laying down and having nothing to do. None of the books interested me, even if they did, I would have read them before I got out. I did get out, then they gave me a prosthetic, simple leg to help me walk. When they sent me out, they searched for any of my relatives, but they had been long dead. I ended up staying with a friend, Wave Runner, who let me live there. As soon as I got to his house, I started making a plan to replace my eye and leg. In his garage, I created a blueprint on how to make a new, better leg and a realistic prosthetic, not prosthetic, but synthetic eye. It, what I made was possible, but pricey, and I would need someone to hook it up to my nerves so I could control it. This would be especially hard for my robotic eye. It took me another 3 months before I managed to collect all the materials. I tried to take a job in engineering, and it more or less worked out. My cutie mark had been a gear since I repaired a scooter for someone. I can't remember their name though. They had me fix up wagons for $7 an hour, which may sound like a lot. Problem was I would need a mobile and complex material such as the small circuit boards, titanium for my legs, and a few power enhancements for my eye and leg, such as pistons, so it could never get stuck again. When I finally had all the materials, I quit the job and started work on my project. I had planned to make my eye have a function to see thermal counting or on brain signal, and make up a few pistons so it would never be able to escape, so it would always be able to escape again. It only took, I'll just say rubber band. It only took me a week to finish my cutie mark, with my cutie mark helping. I, f- I found someone named Helping Hoops to insert the attachments. It took some bribing to get him to do it. He didn't want me getting stressed, so that's why it took about 1,000 bits to change his mind. He managed to insert the eye insert my eye nerves into a receiver connected to it connects my leg to my stump using some nerve sensors and a few metal implants to keep the leg in, such as metal spikes and screws, because those totally work and don't hurt at all. It worked, but the bullying will increase while working on the project. I hadn't gone to school. When I finally did, I was teased for my implants and robotic leg. Before I had been teased for being a machine geek, which had helped me in this case, so it only increased so. Even so, I found friends and I can deal with the bullying at least. I can always beat them in a hoof wrestle. Basically, the arm wrestle, except, because of hooves. That's the end, and that's the end for now. And Blitz, when I shared it with her, she said, needs more silver Blitz. Yeah, you're one of the friends. Alright, thank you all for listening. This was a quick little thing of my OC's backstory in case none of you knew. I thank you for watching and goodbye.